Hello everyone. I hope you are benefiting from all our videos, and we have another video today by Mathematics to Tan 90, and finally we will complete exercise 1A, and we are doing the last two questions of exercise 1A. So let's begin. Alright, so this is a long question. Okay, so let's read it out. Question number 15. The total monthly income $D of a salesman who sells tires consists of a basic salary of 600. So what is this 600 actually telling us? That if he is selling tires, no matter how many, 1, 2 or 0, he will get this basic salary. This is a fixed salary. It does not depend upon the number of tires he is selling. And then there is a variable amount which depends on the number of tires he sells. So for each tire he is selling, he is getting $8. Okay, so the total monthly income is made up of two things. And what are those two things? Yes, one is a fixed income of $600 and other one is a variable amount which he is receiving as $8 per tire he is selling. So let's read out part 1. If the salesman sells 95 tires in a particular month, find his total income for that month. So as I told you, total income consists of a fixed amount of 600. So that is fixed, but also the variable amount. Now for one tire he is receiving $8. So how many dollars will he receive for 95 tires? So plus 95 multiplied by $8. So this is how we will get our answer. 600 plus 95 multiplied by $8. So this is $1,360 total. 1,360. So that is his income for the month, in which month he sold 95 tires. Now let's look at part number 2. If the salesman monthly income for a particular month is 1680, 1680. So now this time we have the monthly income. We need to calculate the number of tires he sells in that month. So one thing is for sure, that in this total monthly income, there is a 600 fixed income. So we need to subtract that first. So 1680 minus 600, that is 1080. So $1080 he received $1080 due to selling tires. Now for each tire he receives $8. So if I divide 1080 by 8, I will get to know that how many tires he actually sold. So what is 1080 divided by 8? Yes, the answer is 135. So that means he sold 135 tires in that particular month. Now part 3 says, write down a formula connecting D and N, where N is the number of tires the salesman sells in a month and D is the total income. So I already told you one thing, that the total income will always equal to fixed plus variable. Now, what is fixed? Fixed is 600. That is a constant. Okay? So 600. So total, in place of total, I will write D is equal to 600. And what about the variable? So variable depends on the number of tires he is selling. And for each tire, he is receiving $8. So if I'm saying that he is selling N number of tires, so that means for N number of tires, he will receive the variable income 8N. So this will be plus 8N. So yes, we have made the formula. Now let's look at part number 4. Draw the graph of D against N. Okay, so this is the graph. Again, we just took two values. So one of the value we took was 0 for N, and when we plug 0 in this equation, So we will get the value of D as 600. Because remember, I told you that whether he sells no matter how many tires, 0, 1, 2 or maybe 600, 700, he will receive fixed income of 600. That is fixed. So even when he sold 0 tires, he got an income of 600. And then we took a random value of 50, and when we put 50 in this equation, we get 1000 as the total income. So we plotted this graph, and the graph looks like this. Now let's look at what is it asking next. Is D directly proportional to N? Now can you tell me, is D directly proportional to N? No, absolutely not. Because the first rule for direct proportion is that the graph should be linear and it should intersect the point 0, 0. 0, 0 is here and the graph is not intersecting 0, 0. That means when N number of tires are 0, the total income is not 0. That means that the total income is not directly proportional to the number of tires. So we have used our graph to explain this answer. Alright, now let's look at question number 16, the last question of this exercise. A machine manufactures ice needs to be run for 10 minutes to warm up before the production of ice begins. So, by just reading the first sentence, can you tell me, is there something fixed in this? Yes, absolutely. These 10 minutes, they are fixed because they are required to warm up the machine. Whether you're producing ice or not, these minutes will be required to warm up the machine. They won't be required in the production of ice. So they are fixed. Whether you're using the machine for 10 more minutes to actually produce the ice or whether you're using it for 5 minutes. But these 10 minutes to warm it up, that is important. The mass in tons of ice produced is directly proportional to the number of hours of production. So the mass depends upon the hours of production, the other hours of production, which is which is additional to this 10 minutes. Okay. So given that 20 tons of ice are produced when the machine runs for half an hour, find the mass of ice manufactured when the machine runs for 1.75 hours. Now one thing, that when I'm producing 20 tons, my machine is in total it is running for how many hours? Half an hour. That means 30 minutes. Now, out of these 30 minutes, what is fixed? Yes, the 10 minutes are fixed. So, we need to subtract those 10 minutes because they are not used for the production of the ice. They are used to warm up the machine. So, that will make it 20 minutes. So, that means to produce 20 tons of ice, 20 minutes are needed. That means for 1 ton, I require 1 minute. Right? Alright. Now let's move forward. Find the mass of ice manufactured when the machine runs for 1.75 hours. Now since we are doing the whole calculation in minutes, so let's convert this 1.75 hours into minutes. So 1.75 hours will be 105 minutes. Okay. Now one thing to notice is that in these 105 minutes, you need to subtract 10 minutes. Why are we subtracting 10 minutes? Because these minutes are required to warm up the machine. So actually, production took 95 minutes. Now, I said that for 1 ton of ice to be produced, 1 minute is required. So in 95 minutes, of course, 95 tons of ice would be manufactured. So we have find out our mass, that is 95 tons. So although when you read this question, there are so many things, but you shouldn't get confused. You should just stick with what they're saying in the question and try to understand the question. Okay, so that is something very important. So inshallah, I'll be back with another video soon. So keep commenting and subscribing and sharing it with others. so that it reaches to those who are in need of it. Thank you.